Adrian Nash. Next up, we're going to have a customer interview with Joy Shop, and they're going to be talking about a couple of SAP Customer Experience products, mainly immersive and upsell commerce. And then at the end, like I mentioned, we're going to have an expert Q&A where we're going to be welcoming some of the customer experience experts at SAP, and they'll be able to answer your questions. So you can already start submitting your questions now in the tool, so just go right ahead and just keep adding them in. All right. So
it will be all about customer experience now, right? So everything that has to do how we provide a good user experience to our users, also what our portfolio looks like for that. So
yeah. What our customers, so basically the customer experience portfolio is something that also our customers can use to really leverage and improve the experience for their end users. So when we have, for example, the customer interview with Joy Shop, they're really going to be showing us how they enhanced or they improved their digital experience for their consumers, for their end users with the portfolio from SAP.
And I think what is the important point here that we are really looking into user or customer centricity. So instead of looking into all the customers, it's really focusing on to provide the best user experience and customer experience for a customer, right? I think that's also what we will be looking into the strategy talk from Adrian, right? Adrian.
Exactly. And Adrian is also going to mention, I mean, if you remember, yesterday we had a question in the executive Q&A about the innovations that we were planning for the customer experience portfolio. And actually, Adrian is going to touch into some of those. He's going to talk about the roadmap right at the end of the strategy talk. And again, we're going to have the experts live with us back in the expert Q&A. So if you have a specific question on roadmaps for any of the products that we have under the customer experience portfolio, just feel free to add them in right now in the Q&A tool, and we'll be picking them up later in the expert Q&A.
Yeah, perfect. And with that said, I think we can now transition over to the strategy talk from Adrian Nash. So let's listen what he has to tell.
Hello and welcome. My name is Adrian Nash and I'm the Head of Strategy for SAP Customer Experience. I hope you're having a great Tech Ed event. And today what we're going to start with is having a look at how we create continuous omnichannel engagements with the SAP Customer Experience solutions. So before we dig into actually the products of our customer experience portfolio, what I wanted to do is really tie where customer experience sits into the SAP reInvent strategy of how we help the world run as a network of intelligent and sustainable enterprises. And as part of that strategy, really, there is the Intelligent Suite. The Intelligent Suite includes our application portfolio, which also includes SAP Customer Experience, built on top of the capabilities from the business technology platform around integration, extensibility, analytics, AI and ML services, and beyond. Now, before we again dig into the portfolio that we have, you know, the way that we evaluate our strategy, how we build our strategy, how we evolve our portfolio, we obviously have to listen to our customers, listen to the market, listen to the trends that are happening. And over the last 18 months, there's been an obvious acceleration of things like, you know, the move to digital, thinking about customer centricity across those different channels. In a recent NTT report, there was some really interesting results that I'm going to go through today. So there's a real kind of focus where 75% of customers are really thinking about that seamless customer experience. And that means that, you know, with the explosions of channels, the move to digital, the move of different models to not only sustain, but grow businesses, and also the augmentation of, you know, AI and ML services. There's a big focus around the omnichannel engagement of the customers. And that means that the customers choose when and where they engage with a brand, and the brand has to be ready to interact and engage and with the deep understanding of the customer in that channel at that moment of time. So it's really a move of conversion, focus on like getting people through the checkout process, to thinking about the lifetime value of the customer. So how can we grow the overall lifetime value of the customer by understanding them deeply across the entire life cycle of that customer? accelerating the move to digital, like the digital, the commerce programs that have accelerated the move to different omnichannel personalization, the additional models, like I said, B2B businesses moving to direct to consumer and B2C models to sustain and grow their businesses even in pandemic times, for example, but also how we can augment people with AI and ML services around things like nurturing best practices and deal velocity in a sales engagement, for example. How do we, as SAP Customer Experience, invest in these topics to help our customers build revenue-generating customer experience initiatives? And it's really about the customer centricity and how an organization doesn't just center around a customer in a marketing solution or a commerce solution or a customer service solution. It's really the entire business of how they center around that customer and make decisions that are customer focused across that entire value chain. So where we're investing as SAP Customer Experience is around this customer centricity focus for real this time, around a modern expanded view of the customer for any team that needs it across the customer experience initiatives, simplifying, removing blockers out of the way of the freedom to choose the right channel at the right time that follows a business process underneath that engagement, with the unique insights that we have to derive better actions and decisions on top of that insight. But ultimately, it's about personalizing and adding context to every moment that customer engages, so that you can choose the right channel, the right omnichannel engagement to engage with that customer. But with the change, the real pivot change in the industry from company-controlled engagements to customer-controlled engagements, customer trust, customer control has to be at the heart of any customer experience strategy. So this is how we build up our portfolio, right? It starts with the customer at the center of what we do. But there's a couple of things that you first need to know from a foundational level about the customer before you can actually engage across those different channels. And it starts with the identity and consent. And this is really, who is the customer and how do they wish to engage across those different channels? But the onboarding step of authentication or registration is only one part of the journey. So we had to go beyond that with the different signals that happen around the customer across different customer engagements. So you as a consumer, you as a customer, whether you're a B2B buyer, whether you're a B2B user, whether you're a consumer, you leave a fingerprint of your activities across different systems across the ecosystem. And the customer data platform collects all of that insight together to form the context around the engagement solutions that you then interact and engage across those different channels. So the customer data platform, the identity and consent solutions form the center of the portfolio with the deep understanding of the customer, and then you have the systems of engagement. So you can engage with the customer on the right channel at the right time with the right relevance and the right offer across those systems of engagement, like commerce, marketing, service, and sales, whether they're SAP or not. So this strategy, our strategy around customer experience, really builds a foundation so that anytime that customer chooses to engage, you've got the right understanding of that customer so that you can actually make the right decisions and the right actions in those moments. And that's really how we're building out our portfolio, from thinking about individual areas of the customer journey to the entirety of that customer's own journey within industrial grade customer experience strategy. And of course, as that customer interacts, you need to engage on the right channel at the right time with the deep understanding of the customer. And that's really how we hinge our portfolio strategy. But customer experience, again, is part of the intelligence suite of the reinvent strategy from SAP. And one of our biggest opportunities is to create the transparency of that back-end process into the front-end engagements that you have with a customer. So not only can we understand the customer deeply in those systems of engagement, but we can also provide the transparency that's happening in those processes that typically happen behind the scenes to enable you to provide a more transparent view to that customer of what's happening with their order, their subscriptions, their engagements. Within the portfolio, obviously, this is built on top of the business technology platform around integration, which is where we leverage most of the capabilities of the business technology platform today, extensibility, so side-by-side extensibility, AI and ML, data and analytics. Another view of the portfolio, more of a layered version of this, is the customer data platform at the bottom there. That's the deep understanding of the customer, with the who is the customer and how from an identity and consent perspective, commerce from a digital commerce perspective, marketing, sales, and service. So let's take a look at a few of those, those capabilities in a bit more detail. So the way that we think about, how the solutions fit together to really power those moments of engagements is across a customer's own journey. So each customer can have a unique step and journey across their own engagements with an organizations. But this is just one such example, right? So in a B2B scenario, you might think about, your own research, your own discovery through downloading white papers, attending webinars, signing up for newsletters. And over time, you self-discover the fact that actually you want to engage, you want to talk to someone from the organization, and then someone from the organization might be assigned, like the sales teams. So underneath these solutions, we're really thinking about, marketing solutions, the customer data platform, learning all those signals of what's happening so that we can ultimately help that transition from the awareness stage to the consideration stage, where there's a sales team involved, connecting into the configure price quote capabilities, into then placing an order. But in today's world, that journey isn't just the life cycle of a customer. It actually goes beyond that. Like, how do you onboard the customer? How do you, detect issues automatically? How do you continuously engage with that customer? So it's not just about the sales process. It's about engagement across that customer's own journey. And each one of these steps could happen in different orders with different customers. And how do we build the business processes underneath these journey steps, in these micro journeys, to support that customer's freedom? And the same for direct to consumer and B2C models. It might start in different channels, like discovering a product and a service on an Instagram shop, for example, moving into a direct engagement through a commerce channel, through placing orders, downloading loyalty apps, opening a service ticket or talking to a chat bot. It's how we support this customer's own journey with our solutions and how they connect together inside the ecosystem of our customers that really drives how we evolve our portfolio. So this is why MRSys was so important to our customer experience strategy. They allow us to engage with the customers across any different channel with the consistency of that context that's built up from that data core of our identity, consent, and customer data solutions on the customer's terms, from a data privacy perspective at the core of what we do. So whether that's a push notification, a website interaction, all of these different channels connecting to the same message as your brand as you're talking to that consumer or customer, and longer term, those customers from a B2B account engagement perspective. And this is really, if you think about the journey that we just saw, that kind of left side is really the discovery. How can you get more people aware of your brand and drive them into your content that you create around that discovery, of your brand? And how do you support the customer's research on the site that they land with the right products, the right services being recommended at that stage? And how do you nurture that conversion? If I have a look at a product and I move away, how can I re-engage with that customer on the right channel at the right time? And then ultimately, it's not just about selling, it's about the longer term customer lifetime value, which is why retain and nurturing that second purchase, the continuous engagement, is so important. And actually what we've seen already is a great acceleration of, things like commerce, for example. So with MRSys and commerce coming together with Commerce Cloud, there are already 15 pre-built tactics around SAP Commerce Cloud and SAP MRSys really coming together with pre-built engagement tactics for commerce around, welcome emails, order confirmations, bad reviews, good reviews, out of stock alerts, all of these things that would take time to build, and now more out of the box as part of the MRSys and Commerce Cloud integration than ever before. So there's a real acceleration to these engagement tactics as MRSys really has an influence on our overall portfolio. And next up is around the customer data solutions of identity, consent, and of our customer data platform, and then sales and service capabilities of really using that engagement solution to engage with the customer across those different channels. So just before I finish, I wanted to really think about and talk you through some of the key innovation that's happened over the last 12 months since we last spoke at the last Tech Ed. Some of these things that you will be aware of, some of these things hopefully are, providing some insight around how we're evolving our portfolio. You might have seen that at Sapphire this year, we announced the availability of upscale commerce, which has been in an incubation mode. Upscale commerce is an extension of our commerce portfolio to mid-market solutions around, faster time to value, true SaaS solutions that help those mid-market organizations mature out their commerce solutions there with AI capabilities from day one. And then we launched the customer data platform, which is the heart of our portfolio strategy around customer data, customer understanding, customer insights that we launched at the end of last year. But it's already expanded beyond that, thinking about the connector studios, how we extend and go beyond that. And then we have the service and sales cloud, which is about removing obstacles from the business users, building in intelligence to help from a sales perspective, increase velocity of sales, how we, categorize tickets in a customer service engagement, how we connect that from customer service all the way to field service management across an S4 landscape. So there's been a ton of work around improving experiences, connecting these things together and evolving our portfolio. So that was a bit of a background, a bit of information on the SAP Customer Experience portfolio. We hope that you enjoy other sessions that are happening over TechEd related to customer experience. And obviously, there are a bunch of resources out there to support you in your learning and expanding your horizons, and take a look at some of the training out there available for you. And with that, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to listen to me today. Like I said, my name's Adrian Nash. Very happy to hear from you if you want to reach out to me and have any questions. But thank you for your time today.
And we're back. That was an excellent strategy talk by Adrian Nash. I really love the emphasis that he made on really knowing a customer and not just any customer, because every customer has a different journey. And to really be able to provide what they need and support them, we really need to understand the specifics of every customer scenario. So I think that's just an excellent way to move forward with the CX portfolio. Now, following that mantra, we're going to be taking a look at a customer, JoyShop, and see how they're using Immersis and upscale commerce to shape their online experience. Let's check out that video.
Hi, and welcome to TechEd. My name is Bente, and I'm a product manager with SAP Upscale Commerce. I'm here today with Anna Ullman-Serse, who is the CEO of Joy. Hi, Anna. Nice having you here today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and give us some background on Joy as a company?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. So I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of the restart of the fashion brand Joy. I have a background in working with Nelly.com, is one of the largest fashion retailers for younger women in the Nordics. But now we are focusing here on a little bit older women like me and older. So Joy is a fashion brand, and it was actually founded 50 years ago, but unfortunately the company went bankrupt in March 2020, so it was a little bit too early to blame COVID-19, but according to my understanding, it has to do with too many unprofitable stores and too high running costs. So me and my co-founders, we bought what we thought was the key assets of the company. So it was the brand Joy, the private label brands for the fashion products they were offering, the customer database, the domains, and the social media channels. And then we sort of made a startup from that, starting from scratch and providing a new digital experience, online experience only for those customers. And that's what we're doing.
Good. That's a very interesting story about Joy. And I really love how you developed ideas around recreating the offline experience online. I'd recommend everyone to go to joyshop.se and check the page as well, or the website. Super. So can you let us know a little bit about how a small startup like Joy became such an important customer for SAP and an SAP customer at all, right?
And that's a quite interesting story, actually. It all started with one of the key assets, as I mentioned, that we bought was the customer database. And we thought that it was very important that we had a good marketing platform. So we were looking at Immersis by the time that SAP was acquiring Immersis. And when we were talking a lot about what we wanted to do with those guided selling, trying to get that store service online, then the sales rep of Immersive, Gustav, said, hey, I think you should have a look at this new e-commerce platform. It might actually be something for you. So we ended up being one of the first customers live outside US on upscale commerce, and also the first customer that had both Immersive and upscale. And one thing was that we thought it's very important also for us that we don't need to do any customization. And we also realized that it's important for us that SAP, that you guys are successful with this solution. So you will continue to invest and develop new features. So quite early, we realized that the best way is to work very closely with you guys to provide our thoughts about features and also feedbacks on things that works well and not so well. So we together can develop this to a great platform.
Yeah. And this is super. We really appreciate the collaboration that we have with you, and that is so important for us as well to succeed as a product, that we really understand, the real life use cases and what you struggle with and what your needs are in your everyday business. Can you mention some of the most important deliverables from SAP Upscale that will contribute to the success of Joy as a digital business?
There are several things we have worked with together, but I can mention a few ones. One key for us was the Klarna checkout, because when you're selling online in the Nordics, the customers are really used to that type of customer experience when you have just a one-click buy. And the conversion rate is fantastic when you have that type of checkout. So this was important both for us, but also for the local SAP team and our partner Remit, because they saw that this was a key to be able to sell this in the Nordics. So when we launched, we only had Klarna as a payment method, but now we have it as a full checkout. One other thing is that we are a fashion brand, and when you work with fashion, then colors and patterns and things like that is really important for the customer experience. So we had a lot of discussion like how we want to display variants differently in the customer journey. And then one other thing is that we want to, one of our go-to-market messages is that we want to help our customer be more sustainable in how they buy fashion, so they have a more planned wardrobe. And we have together worked with the kit functionality that will make it possible for the customers in the future to create a kit of jeans or blouses and tops and jackets, and then they can get a package deal, but they can swap things and choose the jeans that are the best for them, if it's boot cut or straight fit. So I think that functionality will be really interesting to launch, and I think we will work with that a lot when it's fully live.
Yeah, which is a very important thing, to be able to help the customer to put together these outfits and then quickly and easily buy them. We're really looking forward to seeing that coming online and you working more with the kids functionality as well. Can you talk a little bit about how we collaborate between Joy, the partner Remit, and the Upscale team?
Yes, I mean, we have different way of collaboration. I mean, one thing is that we have weekly recurring meeting. You and I are meeting, for example, and also with the partner when we discuss new features, feedbacks on features, prioritization and time plans and things like that. But then we also have specific meetings for some topics that we need to do a deep dive in. And then from SAP has been the product team that been relevant for that topic. So Kit's been one of those meetings when we had first a meeting with an overall discussion of the functionality, the features that we saw, and then we had the second iteration when the product team presented their thoughts and we gave feedback and discussed both the customer experience but also what we as a merchant want to be able to configure in this. And UX, things like that. So I think that's been a very good iterative way to develop things together.
Yeah, definitely. Good. And finally, what excites you about the future for Joy and for Upscale as well?
I mean, there are still some important roadblocks there for SAP to solve, but when then that is handled, I think this platform is really special. I can see we are not very techy people in the startup, and not so many people, and it takes me just a few minutes to update the site. So it makes it possible to put all the energy and your time to actually try to optimize and build different customer journeys and customer experience and test and optimize that. I mean, up to now we've been building, but now soon we are ready to start testing and optimizing. And I think that is really key here, that you can put all your energy on the customers. What do they use? What do they, how do they behave on the website, etc. But I also think the platform has a lot of functionality that we are not using around, for example, omnichannel. That's how it started. So I think that will be very interesting if we start with showrooms or things like that to try to use that functionality. I think it will be really exciting.
Thank you, Anna. We're super excited as well to see Joy growing on Upscale and as a business, both in the digital world and potentially offline as well, and for you to take advantage of more of the future features that we currently have and the ones that we will be building in the future, also together with you. Thank you for joining us here at TechEd today, Anna.
It was a real pleasure joining you. Thank you, Bente.
So this was a very nice session with Joy Shop. So it actually showed how really the collaboration between SAP and Joy Shop worked and was also so successful on the one hand side. And what impressed me most is that they're actually saying that they were not tacky, but that the whole solution was really so easy to work with and to configure. I really like that. And I think before going now to the expert Q&A, I would like to emphasize again on registering on saptechhead.com so that you can post your questions here in the chat tool.
In the Q&A.
In the Q&A tool. The Q&A tool is over here in the window, so at the top left. So put your questions there, register before, and you can put your questions into the session. And with that, I would like actually to welcome our experts here on Channel 1 stage. Here are Byron, Rick, Viswa, and Sergey. So hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So nice to have you here on stage with us.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
So, Ceci, why don't you start with the first question towards our experts?
Of course. So, Rick, I'd like to start with you. So the question is really about kind of future direction and innovations and what we're going to be focusing on for SAP Commerce Cloud in the future, in the upcoming quarters. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So our focus is on 5 key themes over the next couple of years. And those themes are around circular commerce. So that's all about buying as a subscription, products, kind of rental products or product leasing and all that kind of stuff. It is around really intelligence-led and optimization of the customer experience. That's bringing intelligence into search, into product discovery, making it easier for customers to find products, but also adding intelligence and insight to enable our business users to be able to merchandise products more effectively as well. Thirdly, we're looking really strongly at the integrations we have to all of the great SAP products that we have in the SAP portfolio, and how we really look at those in an end-to-end way to really leverage and maximize the benefit of bringing all those great SAP products together. On the fourth one, we are focused very much on what we're calling composable commerce, but this is all about how we enable our customers and partners to be able to extend our platform in a way that they would expect in a cloud world. So side-by-side extensibility, API, event, everything to do with that, and really try and make it easy and agile to build on and extend the commerce solution. And lastly, the work on security and performance and cost of ownership is never done, and that will always be there on our roadmap to really help deliver a more secure and robust solution for our customers.
Excellent, thanks. And when you were talking about the extensibility option, so for SAP Commerce Cloud, I think there's actually a workshop here at TechEd. It's ISP 261. So if you're on sapteched.com, you can go check out the session catalog and look again for ISP 261, and you will find the information for that workshop.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks. And the next question goes to Wiswa. So. Question here around the roadmap for SAP Sales and Service Cloud. Can you maybe talk a little bit about that and elaborate on these two products, actually?
Yeah, So on both SAP Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, I think like one of the biggest undertakings that we are doing this year and also next year is the modernization of the platform. We're kind of completely revamping the solution from a monolith architecture to a microservices-based architecture. So this is, I think, like what we have already released this year in terms of multiple add-ons which are available to our customers, and also this will continue for the next year. So again, a big focus on performance, availability, and all of those factors. Yeah. And another factor is also leveraging a lot of the BTP technologies. So you would have already seen in Jorgen's keynote yesterday how C4C applications are kind of leveraging the AppGyver based or like the BTP based tools, and how we can provide a lot of these extensibility capabilities with that. Yeah. So that's more or less like our plans for this year and for next year.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that. And also, again, on emphasizing on the fact that also tools like AppGyver as part also of the SAP Business Technology Platform are already being built into either the LOB, so the line of business solutions, as well as being simply used as a service. So I think that's quite important also to note that we are really using the platform really to provide capabilities for the solutions on top.
Yeah, and I think also in terms of the session content, Vishwa, you also had a session, I think, ISP 301 with Sanjeet, right? That's also here in the session catalog, revolving around Services Cloud and Sales Cloud as well.
That's right. Yeah. So we had a session again detailing like all these efforts that we are doing in terms of the modernization. There is also another hands-on workshop which is more around how we are integrating or like using AppGyver to build the side-by-side extensibility. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Encourage.
Perfect. And again, focusing on how BTP is really the foundation layer for the intelligent enterprise and how it can help our customers adapt or add features or just enhance their existing LOB solutions with this extension model. Great. All right, Byron, the next question then would be for you. So can you share a little bit about which, first of all, maybe start off with what is Emarsys, what it's actually used for, and maybe then share a little bit about which CX products that we already have are in the pipeline to be integrated with Emarsys.
Yeah, absolutely. Emarsys at its simplest form is really designed to help companies engage with their customers. So again, to be able to solidify those relationships. So if you think about Black Friday coming up, for instance, all the different touch points that you might have with a customer, whether it's a promotional email saying, hey, come see our website, there's a promotion or a deal coming, or perhaps it's a push message to say, hey, your order's ready. Or it could even come in the form as an advertisement on Facebook, really to get a broader audience. So again, the heart of it is to get the right message to the right person at the right time. In regards to some of the SAP integrations, as you saw earlier, we're working on e-commerce, adding some new use cases there. We will be looking at the analytics cloud as well. One of our key initiatives is measurable impact, be able to look at a campaign and see the ROI from that. And it makes sense to make use of a very flexible dynamic analytics engine. And then if we look more on the horizon, there will be some new CDP use cases that will be opening, as well as more B2B. So as we pull in CRM data and be able to use our engagement engine to deliver more B2B use cases.
Excellent. So those engagement engines, those are similar to what Adrian was talking about in his strategy talk, like these pre-engagement tactics that come out of the box that customers can leverage directly instead of having to build everything from scratch. So like email notifications and rewards programs, these types of initiatives, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, thanks. So I guess the next question goes to Sergey. Which key capabilities are offered with the Customer Data Cloud in comparison to the Customer Data Platform? Can you maybe explain a bit?
Sure, I'll be happy to. So if you think of Customer Data Cloud, it consists out of a few products. So it's first of all, it's this Customer Identity Access Management System. Think of the funnel that acquires digital identity. It's onboarding, it's authentication, it's progressively build the profile. So it's anything related in a digital space. The second product within this Customer Data Cloud is Enterprise Consent and Preference Management System. This is acquisition of the rights to use the customer data for different purposes within your ecosystem, for marketing purposes, for personalization purposes, for any type of engagement through different funnels. So it's basically assuring the data acquired from the customer used in the right way across all the touch points within the organization. That's Customer Data Cloud. Customer Data Platform, think of the extension of digital identity into the more physical world, and also applying insights based on the behavioral, transactional, and sentimental data that might be acquired across all touch points within the organization. So acquisition of the data, first permission-based data from the customer, Customer Data Cloud, with the rights to use this data. And then Customer Data Platform is building insights, orchestrating these experiences across all touch points within the organization, syndicating data, sharing the data, invoking different experiences or coordinating the experiences across all the touch points and applications.
Okay. That was great. Thanks for the explanation. So that really means that in order to really follow a customer throughout their entire journey, then what our customers would need to use both the Customer Data Cloud and Customer Data Platform, right? So first getting that consent, getting those rights to use that information, and then actually following up on that and seeing what engagement tactics they can use and how that specific journey would look like for a customer.
Yeah, exactly. And if you think of the customer journey, it's not always linear, right? You are not engaging with the marketing, and when the marketing campaign is finished, you're going to engage with a service, for example. It could be parallel, right? And then what happens in one funnel needs to be adjusted or coordinated or influence experiences in a different one. So having that kind of cross-application orchestration layer kind of really helps deliver horizontal hyper-personalization, not just within the funnel, but across all the organization.
But I think what I really like is also the fact that the need to have really this consent before is really something that we have built into our solutions so that also our customers are sure that they are compliant with regulations around security of data from
consent aspect.
The consent aspect from persons, so that they really give their allowance to actually use the data, and that we build on top of that with our solutions, right? That's fantastic. Yeah. Thanks, Sergey.
Definitely. So I was wondering, or I don't know if you have an extra question or?
No, go ahead if you have one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering, maybe Rick, if we could go back to kind of those themes and that roadmap topic. You mentioned the concept of building extensions on Commerce Cloud and being able to do that. And that, I think, as we saw in the keynote, one possibility is, of course, SAP AppGyver or the low-code, no-code capabilities that we have. But I'm guessing customers can also just build them directly side by side with the business technology platform and leverage that, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So the business technology platform and the Kyma runtime are, really, really fantastic frameworks for being able to create those extensions and then connect them to your Commerce Cloud instance. So yeah, absolutely a hugely kind of key pillar in the overall picture here.
Excellent. And I actually think, the Kima runtime is available in the free tier. So if you are interested and want to check that out, you can go ahead and get started with SAP BTP. Check out all the free tier service plans. They are listed very easily in the SAP Discovery Center service catalog. So you can see all the services that are now available in free tier and kind of play around with BTP.
Yeah, and I think what is also, again, interesting also to explain to our customers, partners, everybody outside, the developers, that SAP is actually the first customer of SAP, right? So as you just heard, we are integrating all these capabilities from the business technology platform into the solutions and really being able to cover all these end-to-end business processes and having really a very strong foundation here so that we have reusable assets, not only for customers and partners, but firstly, already by SAP. I think that's an important point, also the proof point that we are using this for our own purposes and that it fits, right?
Yeah, we drink our own champagne. This is just water, but, imagine. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think with that, thank you guys very much for joining us, for answering all our questions. It was great learning more about the customer experience portfolio. As we mentioned earlier, this was a question that came up in the executive Q&A. So I think our audience was kind of expecting updates on the customer experience portfolio. And yeah, with that, thank you again so much.
You so much.
And I hope you guys continue to enjoy TechEd and Channel 1.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right.
Wow.
That was a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
we got a lot of, a lot of information on the customer experience portfolio. We learned about the innovations, upcoming roadmap details. We were able to speak with the experts, which was just fantastic. And of course, we heard from Adrian Nash telling us all about the strategy for the customer experience portfolio and sharing, a little bit of the insights as to how we're trying to leverage the technology that we have available to really help our customers improve their customer experience. So it's kind of like a two-way street. But again, that's not all. We have several other sessions available here at TechEd around customer experience portfolio. You should be seeing them on the screen in just a little bit, so I won't kind of explain them or call them out, but you can find all these sessions directly in the session catalog.
But I think one session I would like to point out, so that's the hands-on session ISP 160. So don't miss it out. That's an unlimited seat session. So even if you haven't signed up yet, you can visit it, have a look, and follow the instructions.
Yeah.
So
we renamed hands-ons to workshops in the virtual format, but yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, it's already late. Sorry for that, you're absolutely right. It's called, but it's because you put your hands on...
You put your hands on things, I understand.
Yeah,
But
so...
workshop, you work together to build something.
Yeah, but with your hands.
Yeah, it all makes sense though, it all makes sense.
Okay, great.
But yeah, check out ISP 160, right?
Yes.
That's has unlimited seats, so even if you're late to the game, you can go and try it out right now.
So with that said, I think that was the customer experience hour, and I'm really looking forward to Mamiki to get some news on the social media wall. Hello, Mamiki. So nice to see you.
Hi, Cecilia. How are you guys doing?
We are
Good,
doing
good.
fantastic.
How are you?
We're having fun here. How
Yeah,
about
I
you?
see. Good. I'm doing well. We have
we're-
brought another more content from the social media wall. So I'm here to let you
Perfect.
guys know. The first one we have is from Matthias, who shares with us how he and his colleagues are watching SAP TechEd. So they're actually having like a watch party.
Wow.
Yeah, at a
With
local
pizza, I think.
Yeah, at a cafe in Belgium. So I love seeing how everyone's bringing their friends together to just be a part of this event. I think it's super duper cool.
Yeah, and I really miss that, right?
Yeah.
Being all together.
Oh, in Belgium, the fries. I love the fries.
Love the fries, definitely love the pizza. I think they have beer there, which is, always fun as well.
Okay, have fun in Belgium, and greetings to you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Keep letting us know where you're watching it from, who you're watching it with. If you're doing watch party, just like Matthias, let us know. We'll love to have that included in our social media wall. The next one that we have is this adorable picture with Jacob And he tweeted his baby, who actually just turned 9 months old today. So he tweeted on there, and I have to read this out because it's so sweet. He says, enjoying SAP TechEd developer replay with the youngest nerd in the family. Can't wait to start them too early on Terminal and ABAP.
Oh my God.
Well,
Look how cute he is.
He should reach out to DJ Adams.
I think it is DJ
And
Adams
Tom
in the
Young.
background.
Yeah,
right?
that's
I think it's DJ.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is
in the
DJ.
background, in the monitor, that's DJ. So he's checking out the keynote.
Yeah, I mean, you need to start early, right, to be a pro, right?
Exactly.
Of course.
9 days old.
Yes, yes.
You got to start them off really young. Our first, what is it? This is going to be our first TechEd baby for the social media wall.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Then the next one we have is another Casimir post. Guys, you guys are doing amazing with these Casimir posts. We have one from Dell where she shares us with how her and Casimir are watching the TechEd event. So it's really cool that Casimir is included into your homes, and you guys are like family now.
Look at that ceiling, right? It looks like there is a lot of...
Yeah, like it's super cool up
Yeah, yeah.
there, like a mirror.
Yeah, but I love how she just has Casimir there, just chilling.
Chilling
you
with
know.
her.
Yeah, exactly. They're chilling together. I mean, he's chilling on my shirt just now, so you know.
Oh,
Can't
look, there
complain.
he is.
Hi, Casimir.
Casimir.
He's everywhere.
Oh,
You're
look,
famous.
he's looking and concentrating.
Yeah, he's very
He
concentrated.
heard his name, so now he's like well alert.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Then the next one we have is from Karsten, who he shares with us his Casimir mug. So, like I said, people are bringing in
Wow.
Casimir into their homes. And
That's
he's
so
just
nice.
he's watching the Day 2 event today with the mug. So it's really nice to see everyone just including him in their home. And if you want to include him, like make sure that you put hashtag SAP TechEd so we can be able to see it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I love how he also used hashtag SAP TechEdCat.
Yes.
So that's another
That's
hashtag.
important. If you are including Casimir into any of your posts, also include SAP TechEdCat as well so we can be able to see them.
And I also think we have a new badge in the community, right, for Casimir. Well, what do they need to do to get the badge?
So one, they need to register. And they need to be a part of the event as well. So
Yeah, and they can go to the TechEd groups, right, in the community, and then just there's a thread actually for Casimir. And if you just post a picture of your Casimir merch, let's say a mug or a T-shirt or whatever, just respond to that thread, and you'll be able to get your Casimir badge in the community as well, which is really cool. I got mine today, so not bragging, not bragging. I'm just
Wow.
saying.
Yeah.
I think I don't have it so far. Okay, I need to work on this.
Me too.
One
Maria.
up.
I need to get on mine.
One up. Okay, I need to catch up.
And then the next one that we have is another SAP TechEd pet, and this is the developer advocate Kevin. He shares his dog Cookie, and look how cute he is.
My God.
So he's patiently waiting for the end of SAP TechEd. I'm guessing he's waiting to get home to him.
I think
Super cute.
He misses Cookie. I would miss him too. I mean, he looks so fluffy, right?
Yeah, I think he was hairdressed before. I think that's how you looked before you went to
the makeup artist. Yeah,
they had
exactly.
lots to do there.
It was
Cookie's adorable. Like
very cute.
I'm loving these SAP TechEd pets posts. Keep them coming. We got a lot of cats, so like keep those dogs coming. We'll have to see more dogs.
And if you have horses, goats,
Pets,
whatever,
anything,
whatever you have.
rocks,
Yeah.
whatever you consider as a pet, we'll love to
Plants.
see it.
Plants would be a good pet, right?
Exactly.
I can't keep mine alive, but if you guys can, please take pictures.
Yes, show us how they're flourishing. And yeah, that is it for our social media wall today. So don't forget to hashtag SAP TechEd and SAP Communities to be able to get yours featured on our social media wall either today or tomorrow. We'll love to continuously see your posts.
And I think coming up next, we have a short video, right, that we want to play?
Yes, so it's a moment in a life video from some of the people from our community. So just stay tuned for that.
Hi, my name is Julia and I'm working for the wonderful company of SAP. As you know, TechEd is just around the corner and I want to show you today how I will prepare for this year's TechEd. Let me show you. Oh, but I think something is still missing, huh? So I think this is much better, huh? So I'm looking forward to the developer keynote in TechEd and also Channel 1. I'm looking forward to what kind of fun activities they have planned for this year. So, I'll see you there.
How creative was that? So if you guys have been keeping up with the event, you have seen a few of these A Moment in Life videos. So these are from the community, how they are getting ready for TechEd, and it's super brilliant how they're going along. So now we have a remote check-in with Karen from Brazil. Hey, Karen.
Hello, thank you for having me here today. I really appreciate you sharing how is going on the event here in Brazil.
Bom dia de Frankfurt.
Bom dia.
Karen, it's so nice to have you here for our remote check-in. I know you've been catching up with the event lately, just on social media. So I'd like to know how has the event been so far for you?
For me, SAP TechEd is an amazing opportunity for those people who never have a chance to be in this event before, because you can watch it online, you can organize the session that you want to attend, and you can learn, you can have fun, you can be part of hands-on session, you can understand how the companies can become an intelligent enterprise, and you can follow the trends and the technology for the future as well.
Awesome, awesome. So I wanted to know, what are some key takeaways that you got from either the developer keynote or the executive keynote that happened a few hours ago?
Well, I think it's a developer keynote today. It's a very funny and very interesting, and it's supposed to be a challenge to put in a single application a variety for technologies together and being present in 30 minutes, and being this Big Brother style. Yeah. That's awesome, and you have a lot of information on that. Also, in the first day, in the executive keynotes, Jürgen Miller share with us some very interesting announcement as well. Then, yeah, it's really amazing to have this information. And I really appreciate in the final, because, you see a lot of things. Then during the keynote developing, you have a summarize all the things that happened there, and you can take in the information that you got there as well. I really appreciate that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. So we know that you are an SAP mentor. I just want to ask you, how has it been being an SAP mentor, and what could you tell people a little bit about what you do within the community?
That's interesting. Then I became a mentor in 2015. Then I try to share what I have learned, encouraging people to enjoy the events and all the information that SAP gave for us. Also, you will give feedback for SAP for solution, being part of executive meetings. That's very important as well. Then you can have some very interesting information to give for SAP, and that's a nice relationship. It is a partnership as well, that's I can say.
Awesome, awesome. Now, for the duration of the event, have you been watching it with anyone? Have you had a watch party? Where are you watching it? Or is it something that's just playing in the background? Just like to know a little bit about your event setup.
I have here a watch party as well.
Oh, nice.
Then you have 3 days immersion with a lot of news. Then you can have fun as well. Then I watching this event at home in a big screen with my husband. He is a SAP mentor and SAP consultant as well. Then we can share our impression and the thoughts throughout the event. That's amazing. And I very interesting to following the sessions related to transitioning to SAP S/4HANA, best practice with SAP BTP, also the low-code and no-code solution, the AppGyver, and RPA application too.
That is great. So Before I let you go, I'm just curious to know, if you had 25 hours in a day, what would you use the extra hour to do?
Since I want to improve my quality of life, I probably getting a sleep.
I feel like a lot of people have been saying that lately, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
Getting an extra hour of sleep is always important.
That's great.
Thank you so much, Karen, for checking in with us. We hope you enjoy the rest of the show and just stay tuned for the end of it.
Thank you for having me here, guys. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, now we are almost at the top of the hour with Karen.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mamiki. That was really fun. I mean, that was really great to see how they're experiencing it in Brazil. I love how these remote check-ins work.
Big shout out to all the SAP mentors, the SAP community in Brazil and Portugal. Muito obrigado. I had to say that.
And
Sorry, I'm Portuguese.
I'll add in everywhere else as well.
Everywhere else,
yeah.
yes.
Everywhere else. But I really like all these remote check-ins to really see how they're experiencing SAP Tech Ed. I love the fact that she was actually watching it with her husband, who's also an
who was
SAP
also a mentor.
I thought that was
it was
super
fun.
cool.
My husband isn't even watching me. Like, I mean, he's just sleeping right now. So, you know. But that's really cool. That's really cool. So yeah, thank you so much, Mamiki, for bringing that in. And yeah, we'll see you in the next social media wall then.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.
So, we are now in the next
hour. It's all
next
about
hour.
security, right?
Absolutely. So, security, important topic.
Okay.
It's about. Oh,
Right.
okay. I'm
So-
sorry. Yeah. So we need to close this hour.
The customer experience hour.
Yeah. So.
All right. Excellent.
Thanks so much for watching us here,
Yeah.
and
I think
seeing
we
you-
have about 2 minutes left on the clock.
Oh.
So we can just continue talking about the event and customer experience.
so
All right. Yeah. They're going to play a video.
you're going to play a video.
All right. So let's
Even
check
better.
it out.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Orla Cullen and I work on the analytics team, and as you can see, it is a Tech Ed time of year. Tech Ed is one of my favourite events of the year. I've been going for many years, both as a customer and also as an SAP employee. Normally about this time I'd be running around freaking out trying to get my hands-on material together, but this time around it's going to be slightly different. So as we're virtual, we'll be running Channel 1, and this year I'm going to be one of your Channel 1 moderators. So I am super excited to be having conversations with my colleagues, customers, partners, students, influencers, and best of all, giving you guys the opportunity to ask us questions and chat with us on the platform. So super excited, can't wait to see you all there. It's going to be super fun.